Hello, everyone, and I'm joined tonight by Miss Viv Adcock. Thanks for being here, Viv.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for being you, Saul.
And we're talking tonight a little bit about unleashing your suppressed superpowers. Um, yeah, and actually, I think it's a really good topic because one of the things that I've noticed is it takes way more energy, like to suppress everything that you are, than to actually be everything that you are. And it's like usually when you're being you, there's a sense of peace and ease and space that's available. And I know that that's largely where XMen like to function. And usually when they're not functioning from that place is somewhere where they're not being them.
Funny you should say that. It's funny, the whole X-Men thing. It was so weird when it first became a specialty class in Access, because I avoided it, thinking, oh, there's no way I'm an X-Men. That's for other people, and I just thought I was normal and ordinary, and there wasn't much different about me. And I had a quick chat with you one class, and I said, oh, I don't think I'm an X-Men, and you just kind of gave me this really wry smile and a little twinkle of your eye, and you just went, and you asked me a really small question. I don't even remember what it was, but something in my world it's like something just kind of cracked open, and I don't know, I don't have any concept or any words to describe what it was, but there was like a shell crack, this that that tightness, like I was really using a lot of energy to contain everything that I'd been told off about when I was a kid. And you just being that space and just asking me that question changed so much in my world with basically very few words. So I don't know if I've even told you about that.
Oh, thank you. And, I think it's so cool to see, everything that you're creating as well. And it's like I really get the sense that you're stepping into really different ways of creating and being with creations. And, I think that's what's available to us as X-Men as well, when we're willing to be that like unleashed spaciousness that just can, encompass so much and create with so much. And it's like that's what's available to all of us, but a lot of us haven't been shown it. A lot of us were never taught to create like that, and it really is a different reality, a different way of creating, and a way of creating that is so much more ease than what most of us have been used to.
I love that term, unleashed spaciousness. I'm going to use that one because that's what it was like. And I realized the pain in my body and all the stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, and the energy I was using to try and force creation was making everything really hard work, and I was losing my joy of creating, and I was starting to give up, and it was all like just basically pushing shit up a hill, and I'd lost that joy of choice and that joy of creation and that joy of possibility. And like I say, that very brief conversation with you, just hearing you talk in class too, like some of the questions that you would ask in class, I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. I wouldn't even know how to put words to that. And sometimes you were standing at the microphone talking with Gary and from Access Consciousness, and even you were struggling to have words, but there was like this energetic communication that was going on between you and Gary, and he just cracked the space open for you, which then allowed you to step into more space. And it was, I mean, I met you, I think, at the very first foundation class that you came to with Tiff, and to see where you've chosen to go and what you've stepped into and what you're creating in the world too. It's like you were, I hope you don't mind me saying, Saul, but you were at the microphone and you were trembling. I don't know if you remember it. You were trembling, trying to get words out and trying to talk to him. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and I definitely remember having that place of knowing like a lot and being able to communicate a lot, but not knowing how to put it in a way that it would be received. And yeah,
Yeah.
Gary is very good at receiving that and being whatever's required. But I think the thing that you just said as well that like I really want to touch on for anyone who's watching as well is like the X-Men body of work is not about finding something outside of you that, you know, you can become. It's like it's actually stepping into everything that you are and embracing all of you and using that as the source for the creation of your life. And like Viv was saying, you know, what if that could be, you know, a reality of ease, a reality of joy, and, you know, something that you wake up excited about in the morning.
And that lightness, Saul, when I don't even want to think back, but when I think back to how I was, it was just this compacted. It was like I was holding all this uranium inside of me, because the abilities and the capacities and the way of being that I had naturally as a child, that was judged, condemned, chastised, criticized, told off for, got into trouble for. It's like I learned over the years to kind of compress and compact and become something that was less judged by or less criticized by my family or my school teachers or whatever. And like you're saying, that energy that it takes to hold that in, when the natural, the very essence of who you are, the very joy, that infectious enthusiasm that we have when we have that space to just allow that out and to be with people that just really enjoy that and cherish it, and they desire more of it, is it's a relief. It's such a different way to function, and it creates so much ease in everything. So I'm so grateful for the X-Men and wherever it came from initially, and, you know, for you guys that have stepped up to be these facilitators, because it is a very different speciality. It's kind of like X-Men. What's that, you know?
Yeah. Well, and everything that you were just talking about is also all of those places where, you know, you engage with the world and with people and, you know, everything in this really different way. And those are the things that, because it doesn't really fit or doesn't match this reality, it's like we get told we're wrong or we're stupid or we're doing something, you know, there must be something that we're doing that's bad and terrible. But what if that was one of the areas that's actually like great about you, and like it really is this place of so much of what you've considered is wrong about you is actually these areas where you have these abilities and capacities. And so much of the class people come to with all of these things that are wrong with them, and by the time the class is finished, you know, people are laughing about themselves and how they're not actually fucked up, but they actually had, you know, they had some awareness or something that they weren't using to create. So
so you've got a few classes on at the moment, haven't you? Was it Understanding Bodies, or
we've got the Evolution of Bodies is a 3-part call. We've got 2-day coming up at the end of the month for XMen, and some other specialty classes. There's a lot going on, but if you're listening and it's interesting to you, you can find more at Wynne-Jones.com. And thanks for having a chat, Viv, and it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise.
And let's do it again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Saul. Enjoy your evening.
All right, guys. Bye. Thanks, Viv.